Good morning. It is not morning for you, but guess what it actually is for me? Listen, this is a big deal. For the last 3 months, I haven't been able to film in this kitchen unless it's like evening time. Kind of makes me not want to work because nobody wants to work towards the end of the day unless you have to, obviously. I just like to work in the morning. So we're having a repot this morning. So today I don't have a lot to do. I do have some questions. We're going to do 2 different things. One of the things we're going to do is, I will talk about it in detail, obviously. We're going to sort out this red crystalinum from NSE. Look at it. It's hardening off. It's a shame. If you'd seen it 2 days ago, it would have looked even more purple. We're going to sort that out because it's actually from a bud cut and there is multiple in the pot. And in addition to that, we're going to figure out what is going on with this Fairchild because it's not very happy and it's in really old pon, as in like the other brand of pon that is not my brand of pon. And I suspect it may have rotted. I don't know for sure. So today, that is what we're going to do. I'm going to get set up and I will get your questions up. I do think I'm going to need some scissors. I've locked the cats out because they are being just heathens today. It's ridiculous. Sorry, I know my potting mat is disgusting. So what I'm going to pot this guy in, and we'll do this one first, is I've made some modified plastic cups, if you will, and that's kind of just what I'm doing at the moment. So I have these. Can you see what I've done to them? Hopefully you can. I've basically made holes in them. Now, if you want a video on kind of like how I'm potting plants at the minute, i.e. this, what's going in them, all the rest of it, let me know and I'll do one. It won't be like a super educational video. It's a bit more of like a, FYI, this is what I'm currently doing. So if you're interested in that, let me know down below because I'm kind of adapting what I'm doing with my plants a little bit because obviously some of them I'm going to sell and I'd rather give them as minimal root disturbance as possible. I don't really want to go down the route that I did when I had a shop or anything because I want to see what's going on with the roots because these are worth a lot of money and I can't necessarily just get any more of them. So we're doing it in these and I'm either going to use my pon or some moss, and I'm going to do with this, because there's 2 of them plus a bud cut, I'm actually going to do one in moss and one in pon, and I just want to see which one like roots better, grows better, and all the rest. So that is what we're going to do. Now then, I have various things. I have scalpels, don't know if I need them. I've got my tags that I've always used, but I went and bought, because it was very affordable, a label maker. So when I take cuts of these plants, I'm actually going to label them all pretty and we're going to print labels for them, which is very cute. If you want to know what this is a Nelco label maker. It's on Amazon. You can find it really easily, but I'll link it in the description if you want it. Super cheap. In the UK, it's about £15. It doesn't use ink. It's a label maker and it's done by like thermal, so you don't run out of ink with it. And you use an app on your phone to type out your label and then you print it and it's awesome. So I'm going to be using that where needed. Let me put it out of the way because I don't want it getting gross. So this here is obviously wrapped in cling film. The only reason I did that is because I had a bud cut, which is inside here, and I potted it up, no doubt in my pon, did I? Yes, I potted it in my pon. All I did was I put some moss on the top and I sort of sealed it. I didn't originally. I think I had another like big cup on top of it to keep the humidity in. But as soon as these started getting a little bit bigger, I couldn't do that. So I let them acclimate to, the cabinet. And in order to keep the moss damp, I do just tend to put a bit of cling film around it. Yeah, right, it's slapdash. But it works, guys, it works. So let me just take the moss off here. I don't really want to use this moss. I've got better moss now. Finally found a place to get moss from. Because I hate the moss that I was using. I was using that really horrible terrarium moss off Amazon and I was not a fan, guys. I was not a fan. Right, you can see here, I'll stand out of my chair. You see this? Get you right up close to it. So you can see this was a big bud cut off the NSE crystal that is actually there, I think, behind me. It's doing better. It just needs moved out of here and into basically a grow tent that I'm going to put upstairs because I can't do this anymore. And this is the front of it, but you will be able to hopefully see there's 2 in there that's grown off the stump. I think at one point in time, there was a bud here next to my fingernail that was growing in, but it's almost aborted. Oh my God, there's more buds. No! You will probably never see this, but there's buds around here. Let me try and take a picture of it now on my phone and I will put it into editing. Give me a second because that is incredible. Okay, that's good. You can sort of see it. I will have to like put circles around it because it's not that obvious, but in real life you can see that it's a shoot coming up. So the first thing I want to do is kind of decant this and then we'll get chatting. Because honestly, guys, I feel like I've been away for ages, and I haven't. I really haven't, but it feels like weeks since I've filmed. It's a bit bizarre, really, because I know it isn't. Like, literally, I know it isn't. Right, we'll start with the most basic one, which is, how are you doing? Why not? Honestly, guys, I'm doing all right. I'm genuinely doing all right. Things, I wouldn't say they were looking up, but I just feel better. Okay, like, my situation hasn't actually changed at all, but I do feel a bit better. Oh... No wonder it's growing well. It's in one of these Amazon self-watering pots. I picked this up and I honestly thought it was a lechuza. Didn't really look twice. That's funny. I'm going to gently pull this. 2 seconds. I just don't want to talk over this being, you know. Ooh, got a bit of rot. Okay, that's fine. Don't want to talk over that being loud. We do have some rot, which is not a problem. It's really not a problem because we're going to change what we do. I think, you know what the rot is? It's all of the old roots from the book cup before it was transferred, which, you know what, fair enough. If you can tell, it's all the old shit that's come off, so that's fine. That usually happens to me when I transfer things. Not always, but for some reason, NSA Red Crystal just seems... I don't want to say it's difficult because it's not. It's just once it becomes temperamental, it sort of stays that way for a bit. But we will see how we go with this. So I'm going to cut the rot off and just tell you how I'm doing. So I'm doing good. I feel better. I'm back at the gym. I know you're probably thinking you've been going to the gym the whole time. No, I haven't. I've had about 6 weeks off. Not fully off. I've maybe gone like once a week or something. I've just been so busy. Obviously, I went to the Netherlands and I did that trip where I visited people, picked up some plants, blah, blah, blah. So I did all that and it just really took it out of me. I went to Malvern Show as well. Oh my God, Malvern Show. Anyone who met me at Malvern, I can't tell you how sleep deprived I actually was. Like I was walking around like squinting like this all the time because I couldn't handle it. I'd done the drive there, which was about, it was basically 3 hours there and then just drove there, parked up and started walking around. But in the few days before that, I was sorting out some balloons for my best friend's baby shower. And when I say it took over my life, I mean, it took over my life. It took weeks to organize. It took like nearly 2 days to build. It took a lot. I might have some pictures actually. Yeah, I should have pictures without her in it that I can show you what I did. So that just took forever basically. And I was just running on empty. I was on my period at the time. I know that doesn't seem relevant, but it basically means I'm an insomniac on my period. It's really bad. So I was just dangerously low on sleep driving to that thing. So if you met me and I seemed a bit tired, that is why. It was crazy. It was crazy. I got a tiny bit of rest by the time I got to the Netherlands. But luckily in the Netherlands, I didn't have to drive. So Ben took over driving, thank God. Because I think in 1 week, I'd done more than 20 hours driving, which isn't terrible, obviously. But I'd done it like severely sleep deprived. And it got to the end of it. And I was starting to like not make great decisions driving. And I was like, I can't drive anymore. Not only that, actually, but when I was walking around the Netherlands, I've never had this happen before. When I was walking around, I should say Amsterdam. I was in Amsterdam at the time. I'd done so much driving that I got like, it was almost like gym DOMs, right? And it's something to do with just driving and having your foot on the pedal or whatever. But it originated from like the top of my right glute, but it extended up to my back to the point where I couldn't walk like straight, and I was walking for like 20 minutes and then I was genuinely struggling to walk. It was really bad. And I thought, well, it can't be DOMs from the gym. I haven't gone to the gym. And it took me a long time to figure out it was actually from driving, which is like, what? So that was fun. So as soon as I got back, I kind of vowed to do as little driving as possible. I took some extra time before getting back into the gym. Like I did lighter weights, or I didn't do the full workout or whatever. If you've been following me on my weightlifting app, then you'll know. You'll be like, where the fuck has she been? But I'm kind of back into it now, so that helps. Nutrition is back on track because obviously you can't eat what you're supposed to eat really when you're driving around all the time and you're in a different country and you've got to eat at like service stations and stuff like that. Like you really just got to take what you can get when you can get it, especially if you're tired, you know. I was sort of flitting between caffeine and sugar because I couldn't have too much caffeine because then it kept me awake when I needed to sleep, and it was a nightmare. But we're back now and I honestly feel refreshed. The lighting in here is going to be terrible because I'm lit from overhead at a really horrible angle, so I'm probably going to look horrific. But I promise I look and feel better. I really do. Other than that, really good. A few people, actually a lot of people were asking me how me and my girlfriend are. We're absolutely fine. Nothing to report, but like in a good way, if you know what I mean. Yeah, really good. I mean, the distance gets to us because it would for anybody. And if you're in a long distance relationship, you'll know. I only get to see her basically once every other weekend. So it's like once every like 14 days or something. And even then, I don't get to see her very long because I see her really late Friday night at like 11:30 at night or something. And then you just go to sleep. You know, I have to go pick her up from the airport, bring her back. So we just go to sleep. We have Saturday where, you know, you've had such a long week. You're so lazy anyway. You don't really want to do anything. And then Sunday is like, oh, well, I've got to pack tonight because I'm going home. So you don't really get much time. Do you know what I mean? Which does suck, and it is very difficult, and it just sucks that there's nothing else to say there really other than it sucks. But you do what you got to do, don't you? But otherwise, yes, very good indeed. All is well there. I'm sorry, I'm making really good headway with this rot. I know you can't really see it. I will have zoomed you in potentially, I don't know, because if this is a long way from my face, then I can only zoom you so far. A lot of people have suggested actually that I do like 2 cameras on me when I repot. Somebody once said it was lazy not having 2 camera angles, which I find a little bit bizarre because not everyone can afford 2 cameras. So that's fun. Also, I don't actually know where I'd get a camera in this frame where you wouldn't see it, and I think it would really piss people off. I'm willing to try it at some point. I do have a second camera, but it's hard. This camera records forever, right? There's no cutoff on the files. The other camera will be every 30 minutes, and the workload of syncing that up for people that I don't actually think most people care, it's quite a lot of work. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know about that. I actually can't believe that I've got this many shoots. What it means is I can't butt cut this anymore because we've got new growth, you know? So that's interesting. But we need to have a little think, you and I together, of what we're going to pot this in. But it's so cool though that it's producing shoots everywhere. See if we can get a little bit of a close-up look at it. So that's what we're left with at the moment. If I spin it round, obviously you can see there's 2. You can really see there's 2 there. We just need to separate them. Now, that's a bit difficult because I don't want to break them, and you are not going to see me do this. It's physically impossible. You know what? I think a scalpel actually is needed for this. I didn't think it was going to be, but actually it is. So we're going to do that, to be honest. I'm not even potting with gloves on. I know. Everyone's like, why do you pot with gloves? Why do you pot with gloves? Because I don't like shit on my hands. We're doing it anyway today. I don't know why. Maybe it's because I know I'm not really dealing with too much crap, and a lot of it's going to be moss. And I just think, meh. Right, to release these 2 little babies from the stump, I'm going to use these. These are from B&Q in the UK. I guess that's the equivalent of... There's a place where it's the equivalent of an American, and I can't think of what that place is. But it's a hardware store, right? And they're literally just... I think they're even craft knives, are they? Disposable craft knife, yeah. They're not quite scalpels, but to be honest, they will do. So we're going to use one of those and just cut into it. While I get a question, actually. Do you still have Mysterious Dark Boy? Yes, and I do sell clones of it. And if you've had one from me, by the way, I should have said this at the time, it's not a self, it is a clone. So yes, I do. He's propagating at the minute, and just keep an eye out on my Instagram. I'm not like selling plants, if you know what I mean, but I have so much stuff here. It's got to the point now where guys, I do not have the space. I do not have the space. Even stuff on the back of here has to go because things like my Thai have grown really big. My white monster, which I've actually turned to face the window to sort of manipulate it a bit, that's too big. Like I'm going to have to get rid of some stuff. So if you're interested in buying plants, both rare and, you know, whatever you've seen here, let me know. And just honestly follow my Instagram because that is where I'm posting it. And I tend to do it via a story. If you're interested, you message me and I get back to you that way kind of thing. But yes, I do have him. I still have the big mother plant, the big tall thing. He's like taller than me now, but I need to cut him down because he's too big. But I'll probably take a head cutting of him and keep him and root him. And then the rest of it, all the chunks, I'm just going to and just completely root them and sell them off as clones. That should be absolutely fine. So, someone's asking about the gloriosum, variegated gloriosum. One moment. Somebody has said to me, what is the difference between your variegated gloriosum and the other variegated gloriosum? So the internet taught me this. I didn't know people had sort of named it. But there is a type 1 and a type 2 variegated gloriosum, okay? Type 1, think of this very much the same as, the best way I can describe it is Monstera albo versus Monstera Thai constellation, right? Even the appearance is similar. So my gloriosum is like the Monstera albo, right? It's not tissue cultured, basically. It's come from one original clone that I bought in 2019. And if you've been, following this channel long enough, then you'll know that. It was given to Enid from NSA when I went to Miami in 2019. I gave her it at the Aroid show. I was like, oh my God, panicking. Please look after it. We'll sort it out later. She then kept it for like 2 years, sent it back to me, kept some for herself. So if you see it circling in the US, from Enid or, I don't know, William or whoever, then that is my gloriosum, as well as obviously the stuff you see here, because there was only one plant. So that is type 1. And you can tell it's type 1 because the variegation is very much kind of like an albo. So it's very sectoral, very chunky. The difference between that and type 2, which is the other one, it looks a little bit more like a Thai constellation. So the variegation is a bit more fizzy looking. And honestly, I think it's very easy to differentiate them. Now, the type 2 is tissue cultured. I don't make the rules. It's inherently just not worth as much because there's no real point propagating and selling it too much. Or if you do, the value will drop quite quickly because it's tissue cultured and you can just clone it in a lab over and over and over. The other type, at the moment at least, is, you're propagating it and you're selling it. I do have some. They're not in here anymore. I had to move them for the Anthurium madness that is this cabinet. The next door, I have 2 really nice mature leaves that are now a bit battered because they had to take some of the energy to root. And they've now grown their own caterpillars and they're producing their own leaves. So I do actually have variegated gloriosum type 1 if you would like it. Message me on Instagram and I will see what I can do for you. I have quite a bit. A lot of it's unpropagated, so I can take fresh cuts, no problem. And trust me, when I say this stuff does root. If you're good with regular gloriosum, you will be fine with this. So I'm trying to take this off. Why can't I take it off? I don't want to hurt myself here. It's a bit scary, that. Why can't that come off? Oh, it's tight. Yeah, if you're good with regular gloriosum, then you will be fine with variegated. If you're terrible with regular gloriosum, honestly, guys, just stay away. It's not worth your time because the care is the same. Yeah. So that is the tea with the difference. A lot of people do know that, but for anybody that doesn't, then there you go. Now you know. Right, I'm just trying to work out where to cut this, and you will not see this. You just have to trust me. I think there. Ooh. I mean, that's a bit risky cutting that like that, especially when a leaf's coming out. But honestly, there's always a leaf coming out of these. So what can you do? It does have the tiniest root coming off. Can you see that now in my hand? I've cut that. I couldn't have cut it any more. That's kind of him. I might do him in moss. I wouldn't want to put him in pond. I don't know why. I just feel like for juvenile stuff, moss might be better. I don't know. But I can do something really cool with this. I can actually put another one on top, another cup on top, and we can sort of, keep in the moisture or whatever have you. Now this one is harder. This one is harder. I don't like doing this very much. One moment, guys. I want silence while I do it. I'll just cut it. It's fine. Teddy. No, baby. There we go. Eek. Oh, I've chanced that a little bit, guys. If these die, it is completely and utterly on me. I might do both of them in moss. That's really bad. I've cut that way too close. I'm going to be honest. I've cut that way too close. Don't do what I have just done. Now, it's fine. I have a nice big butt chunk. A butt chunk? A butt cut. So listen, I'm not sure on this stuff. I'm really not. I've got obviously the mother there that just needs to grow a little bit more, and I will keep cutting it because I want clones of this. So this will just grow again. And it does have, as I mentioned before, it does have new bits coming. So as long as we plant that back up, we will be fine. These, however, scare me. Let me just see if I can put it in something slightly different. Hang on. Sorry, I'm trying to make a decision here on whether to plant this in here and actually give it its own terrarium, which I think could be better than doing this just for the sake of that. So I'm actually going to do that. So these are, I've talked about them briefly before. These are basically dessert cups, and they don't have a hole in the top. So that's what they are. They're actually quite good quality, to be honest with you. They're not like super flimsy. They're from AliExpress, and they're awesome. We love them. We love them. So what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to put a tiny bit of pot in the bottom. Why not? Because I'm not going to put holes in this for self-watering. I'm going to leave it a bit. So a little bit of that in there. That'll do. Then the moss. So we're going to get that. Let me put this. I keep calling it a scalpel. It's not a scalpel. Oh God. Put this here. Where's my moss? I have moss in a big ugly bag, but it's lovely moss. I'm just going to put it on my knee. Ooh, this is a good one. Are Anthuriums really the craze for this new year? Honestly, guys, here's what I think, right? Unofficial opinion. I'm just a person, right? I know so many people take my opinion as gospel, but I really need you to just remember, I'm just a guy, right? I'm just a guy on the internet that sold plants, that has experience selling plants and experience taking care of a lot of different plants. That's all I know. I see trends in terms of buying and selling and prices, and then it's usually, or was usually, up to me to kind of interpret that. That's my experience, right? But you're asking me, so I'm going to tell you my opinion. Are Anthuriums really the craze for this new year? Probably, yeah. Probably, yeah. A little bit of Alocasia stuff, which I've covered earlier on this year in the channel. Sorry, I'm going to sneeze. Please don't sneeze. I've covered this on the channel already this year, but definitely a little bit of the variegated Alocasia stuff. Select ones, listen, don't just look at a cheap variegated Alocasia and think none of them are worth anything. That's not true. It depends on the Alocasia, for sure. God, we're going to have to really put some number 3 around this. Good Lord. But the Anthurium thing, oh my God, yes, there is money. There's a lot of money in it. I'm not making it up. Look around on the internet, look around. You will see that I'm not making this up, guys. There is a lot of money. There is a lot of money in it. It surprises me, but then when you actually take a step back and sort of think about it, you understand why there's a lot of money in it. It's because it appeals, I can understand a lot, to the older generation, because the older generation of aroid lovers, obviously Anthurium lovers as well, were very much of this opinion when TC came along. It's not even just about the money. A lot of the you know, more established Anthurium enthusiasts among us, so not the new spring chicks coming in. A lot of people would be like, look, this isn't the way of doing it. It's not about that. Like, look at all the cool crosses we can make. Plants have a history attached to them and all that sort of stuff. And honestly, I don't think in the beginning people cared as much, is what I think. And when I say people, I mean like us, right? So the people that watch my videos, the people that watch all the other YouTubers, that kind of type of person. I don't mean ages, I just mean the type of person, right? I don't think any of us really cared back then. What I think is that TC's come along and kind of ruined it. And it's happened really slowly, because it has. It's happened super, super slow. It's happened over, since 2020. So it's happened over 5 years, okay? Most plants have completely declined. I'm trying to sell plants on my Instagram that aren't Anthurium, right? Just to be completely honest with you, can't shift them. I can't shift them. I know they're worth something. Nobody cares. Nobody wants them. Even though mine aren't even TC. Do you know what I mean? It's irrelevant. People are so fatigued now by a lot of plants. So fatigued. Personally, I am. If you want me to be completely honest, I am. I love my Monstera. I love everything you see behind you. If I get rid of stuff, it's genuinely because it's too big, because look at this, like, what? No. But I'm quite fatigued of seeing it. I'm sick and tired of seeing another variegated thing in TC, honestly. I would never invest money in Monstera. I just wouldn't. I'm sorry, I wouldn't. Because Listen, guys, I'm being totally frank with you, right? And most of you should know this, but if you don't, I'm going to tell you anyway. When a grower in Thailand comes out with the new Monstera whatever, and you see that picture doing the rounds, and maybe even some of the YouTubers that you watch might make a video on it going, oh, look at this new Monstera, isn't it fancy? I am telling you now, the growers in Thailand, Indonesia, wherever, I'm not like targeting a country, but they have done this job long enough to know that you don't put a photograph on the internet until you've got enough of it. Do you know what I mean? They've not just got the one when they do it. They've got hundreds, if not thousands. Like the whole white monster thing had me like, ugh, because it's kind of funny how you see, you know, that original white monster went for, what was it, 50,000 or something? Something insane like that. And then less than a year later, you see loads of people have it, and you see pictures of nurseries with like hundreds of them. And it's like, guys, how does that physically happen? It happens because the grower keeps really, really stum, as we would say. So they don't say anything until they're ready to unload the plant. They hype it once they are almost ready to let it go. And even then they don't let it go. They pretend still that they have the one. And then somebody else that is not in the know comes along, thinks they are ahead of the curve, thinks that they can spend the money and beat the system, and buys the Monstera for 50 grand. And what happens is, yeah, I'm sure they'll make some money back, but you'd have to move very, very quickly because these other growers haven't just had one plant and they've sold you a bit of it for 50k. Come on now. No, they've got tons of it. And I just think it's really, really risky. Now then, with Anthurium, it is different. Can an Anthurium be tissue cultured? Yes. It is more difficult. It's normally done via leaf callus. That's how my Delta Force was done. I didn't do it personally, obviously. I sent it to a lab and had it done. But I know it can be a bit difficult. I sent it to an expert knowing they can probably get the job done. But although you can tissue culture Anthurium, trust me, I'm getting to my point, right? Although you can tissue culture Anthurium, the thing is, people are making cool crosses quicker than what it would take to get a Anthurium. You need to usually wait for a brand new leaf that's like just hardening off. And then you take that, you cut it up, you have to callus it first, and then you put it into tissue culture. And then you have to run the line of tissue culture on it, right? That takes a while. I think you start with foliage first and growth above the surface, and then you go back in, and then you should be rooting them afterwards. That's my old information. The protocol might have changed. You might be able to do both at the same time. I don't know, right? But you get the point. Months and months and months we're talking. By the time that's happened with a specific Anthurium, honestly, people have moved on because someone's like got a hybrid with something else. And there's something very special about the Anthurium culture in whereby they appreciate mutants. They appreciate something that's just behaving a little bit differently. Some people like dark things. Some people like veiny things. Coloured things, like a lot of people like dot blocks. Some people don't care. I'm kind of indifferent. I think it depends on the dot block, personally. I have nothing against dot blocks. It's just because I have NSE red crystal, for example, I'm not too bothered by all the Zaras and the Michelles and all of that. But that's nothing against it. That's just, I have one. I wouldn't spend my money on another one. You know what I mean? I would get something else. But the thing with all this is TC can't really fight with it. By the time TC's done a run of something, people might have moved on to something else. The Anthurium world is so diverse and people have so many different tastes. And in the Anthurium world, people really give a shit about where the Anthurium has come from. Case in point, let me tell you something. Carla Blackii, right? Anthurium Carla Blackii can go for hundreds of dollars, depending on who it's from and what the cross is and everything else. For example, if you're in the UK, don't know if you knew this, but you can get Carla Blackii from, I do believe, Equigenera. It's just not on their official price list, right? But you can get it. The problem is nobody really wants it because it's like, well, what's the origin? Oh, Carla Blackii. No, not good enough. And that's the thing. That's the difference with Anthuriums. People care more about the breeding, the provenance, all of that is more important. And that is something that is literally like, it's opposing tissue culture. And people appreciate things being slow. When people buy seedlings, I'll let them in because it's dinner time, but I will keep talking while I do so. when people buy seedlings, hang on, don't annoy Mummy. Good boy, don't annoy Mummy. That's Teddy coming in for his dinner. When people buy seedlings, they want to see the parents and they will drop loads of money on a seedling and they're looking for like, is this different? What traits did I get? It's almost like, right, this is going to be a ridiculous comparison. Sorry, I know I'm not repotting, but I'm quite enthusiastic about this at the moment. And I'm speaking positively about Anthurium and that side of the hobby because I love it. Obviously, I've went and got loads of Anthurium. Okay, I'm into it. I pick up what you guys are putting down. I get it, right? The best comparison I can make is like everyone is playing a genetic lottery and everyone is really like excited by it and they get a buzz by it. And my face is lit up because I feel the same, right? I'm waiting to buy a hybrid of 2 different plants and I'm waiting for very specific traits to pop up. Now, I've spoken to a seller that will hopefully help me handle that and present me with the one that does. But the point is, everyone is looking for certain traits. Everyone is playing the genetic lottery, you know? And that is in essence why it's fun. Like I've been playing Borderlands 2 recently. I know, I skipped 3. I just skipped 3. 4 is coming out later this year. I thought, let's give 2 another blast. Why not? And I was playing it and it was obviously Borderlands. It's a MMO RPG. It's a first-person shooter, but they have a weapon system very similar to things like World of Warcraft, right? With item rarity. So you've got like white, green, blue, purple, orange. So white would be shit. Orange would be unbelievably rare. But when I was playing it, I was like, this is kind of what it's like when you do things like this, when you cross things and when you buy certain seedlings and things like that. That is kind of the game that you're playing. And I think the lost enthusiasm we all kind of, let's be honest, a lot of us have over the last few years with the whole tissue culture thing. In the world of Anthurium, it's there. It's alive and kicking. And I promise you, just dip your toe in. I'm telling you guys, dip your toe in, you will get a pleasant surprise. You really, really will. Because I dipped my toe in via the form of a rare plant index, by the way, and I am absolutely buzzing about it. I really am. So I'm just working out how hard to push this moss because I need some stability. I really don't want this to die, but it really might. It really might. This was the one with like no root at all, but we're just going to leave it like that and hope that it is fine. This is still emerging and it's going to turn into toast. I was wondering if I should put a lid on it, but I'd rather wait for that to harden. I don't know. But if I didn't wait for it to harden, except the fact that the leaf is going to go dodgy, I'm giving the plant a better chance at growing better. Oh my God, this was not the way to plant this. Can that go on, please? No, not like that. No, it can't go on like that. It can't go on like that. At least for the next few hours, I'm going to keep it like this. It is very contained. It's probably a bad idea, but for now, especially while the cat's around, we'll keep it like that because I'll be damned if Teddy doesn't try and jump on all this. It's going to wind me up. All right, let's do the second one. Maybe I could do the second one without it and put it in there. Nah, sod it. I bought these for a reason. Let's use them. So yeah, that, for me personally, I do think Anthurium is the next big thing, and I think it's going to last a while, because tissue culture can't touch it. They will try, all right? They will try. But I think the people that are really in the Anthurium world are probably not going to let that happen, to be honest. But the other countries like Thailand and Indonesia, of course they're going to try. Of course they're going to try. I just think they're going to constantly, they're not going to know what to pick, all right? Everyone has such diverse tastes in the world of Anthurium. Some people are breeding things for colour. Some people are breeding things for emergence. Some people are breeding things for how easy and compact they are and being able to grow in more of an ambient situation. I don't think people into tissue culture, I've not put any pun in there, are going to know where to look, if I'm honest. Like, where do you even look? I think they're going to start with what y'all love most, which at the moment seems to be your dock blocks. And at the minute, I think they're just buying and selling them on, maybe. But I'm telling you, it's going to happen. And it's going to piss people off. It's going to piss people off, because obviously the people at the top just want their money. Fine, fair enough. The people at the bottom just want to have something for themselves. And I get it. Because my situation where I sit has obviously changed from where it was, right? And that's just life, okay? You're obviously going to prefer a situation that more supports where you sit. And that's why I always struggle with politics a little bit, because, you know, if you became a millionaire overnight, you your political opinions probably going to change, right? What I mean by that is where you sit on the graph in terms of just being a hobbyist or being a plant seller or being a person in a tissue culture lab or wherever, your opinions are going to massively change depending on where you are in that chain. And I get it. But I mean, the growers in Thailand are richer than any of us at the minute. I don't think it always used to be that way, but obviously it is now. But I just think that the magic of Anthurium is not going to be, it's not going to be snuffed out because there's too much of it, guys. I would be surprised if you couldn't get into Anthurium, you watching this at home, because there's so many different varieties and things. It's just the same as philodendron, you know? I've not met many people that aren't into philodendron. I think the only thing that puts people off with Anthurium is them being hard to grow. I promise they're not. Just enough humidity, not insane amounts. Feed them well, that's a big, big thing. And don't blast them with too much light. Keep them pest-free, the same way as you would any plant, and you're good to go. Now, I am kind of almost describing any plant there, which is fair. But Anthurium, honestly, guys, they're not too difficult. They're really not. You just need to get a couple of them to get the knack, as we would say in the UK, just to get the hang of it. But I promise you, try it out. You'll not be disappointed. You're going to see a lot more on my channel of them because I've really gotten into them. That and obviously Alocasia and stuff. My Alocasia are the next door at the minute. I had to move every Alocasia out of that cabinet. Like when I do a plant tour, yeah, it's gonna be insane, to be honest. It really is. But that's coming soon, actually. Now that I think about it, that will be. Oh, it could even be like next week or the week after. You will get a plant tour, and let me know actually. Do you want me to do, obviously, this part and then the 2 cabinets as well? Because I feel like that's what you want in one video. I can do that. Obviously, it'll be long, but I'm sure I feel like people these days prefer really long content anyway, so we can do that, I guess. But yeah, sorry, I've rambled there, but I have a lot of enthusiasm. I can't speak. A lot of enthusiasm for Anthurium at the minute, and you will see a lot of them. It's only going to become more apparent. Oh yeah, he's going to leave. Yeah, leave. So, sorry, I'm trying to get my cat to leave because he will just jump up here and make a big problem. Right, that's the second one. I'm not going to put the lid on that. I shouldn't have put the lid on it anyway. I'll probably take the lid off, actually. That's the second red crystal planted. How long does it take to plant 2 little nubs? A long time, apparently. Now, the butt cut, I'm going to do what I've done with a lot of things, and I'm going to put it in here, and I am going to pure moss it. I know I said I was going to do different things for those little red crystals, but given the root situation, I'm not going to do that. We're just going to moss it. I'm going to moss this too, because why not? But I will do the same thing. Just use this gravel. I'm not having success with pond, by the way. I've actually got a few things down here in pond. It's about 50%, I think, of the plants that I have are in like a pond situation in these cups. But I'm just kind of playing it by ear. I'm sort of like trying it out. A lot of them are in moss anyway because they were sold to me in moss and I've kept them in moss. But we will see. So I don't need a lot before I get to that bit, actually. Let's just put some moss in there. Oh, I need another question though. Ooh, someone's asking me, propagating Alocasia from corms, like how have you found it kind of thing. Honestly, I found it very hit and miss. Like, I've got some corms that I hold, how long ago on camera? Literally, how long ago? Oh my God. Like, I bought an Alocasia black velvet, like, variegated corm ages ago. It's still not sprouted, right? And it's had the same care as the other corms. But then I just sold recently, why have I done this? This is silly. It's because I'm getting distracted. I just sold recently my Longiloba purple corms. My plant produced 2 corms and I sold them. I've just recently sold them and that they've happened so quick, right? And I just think it depends on the Alocasia. Like some Alocasia just want to grow. They want to grow. Like my variegated pink dragon is quite a good one for corming and growing and whatever else. I've got 2 at the minute that are growing off the mother plant and I will have them ready soon. I know a couple of people missed out on those and you were asking me when I had more. As soon as those corms sprout a bit, or I might even let them sprout into full plants or whatever, and I will sell them on my Instagram. So, but like that's grown well. The variegated pink dragon has grown well. The Longiloba purple has grown very well. Who'd have thought? My mother hasn't. It's just sort of stayed as it is, but the corms are just flying out of it. What else though? What else has done well? That's kind of it, you know. I've still got, I bought an Amazonica, a pink wow. I bought a pink Amazonica, like variegated, a while ago as well. That's done nothing. And it looked like it was going to sprout when I bought it. So I'm really just finding it's hit and miss, guys. Whatever method to sprouting corns people have, I don't think either I'm just having bad luck or it's just not working for me. Could be either. It's no good. It's no good. I'm doing it in Fluvalstratum. I'm doing the method everyone I think does in like a shot glass or whatever. And that's that. And they've got the same amount of light heat as anything, you know? And it's just not quite working. Some of them have, like, funny enough, my pink chantriri is fine. But others aren't. And I'm genuinely, because they've had the exact same substrate, the exact same light, the exact same care, I am putting it down to the plants. So I just think some plants are a little bit more just wanting life, you know, than others, I guess. So maybe that's the deal. Right. I've not packed this in too much, but I have a little bit. That is the third red crystal. The last thing we need to do is, let me put that down. Oh, I'm going to have to hoover after this. I need to have a look at this. Should we do some labels first, actually? I'll show you how I do my labels, shall we? Let me move this out the way. Because that already has a label in. So let's do these labels while I remember. So let's get my little label machine that has already been calibrated for a label. I'm going to turn it on. I'm going to go on my little app. And then I'll get another question. So I'm going to use my app. I will load it up for you. See? In my app, I get this, and I'm able to print what I want on the label. So let's just call it Anthurium, NSE, red crystal. I'll just call it crystal, not crystalinum, save some characters. Clone, because they are clones. And then we're going to do that. That is my label. I'm going to ask it to print. And I'm going to do 3 copies. It needs printing. See? It's very cool. I know. I get it now. I get it. And then I've got an actual switch on the bottom that when I flick it up, it cuts it. Yay! And it's really, really cool and we love it. So what I have, oh, where have I put them? Oh no, they're here. I have these, I need some better ones than these. These I've had since the shop and they're really bendy, which isn't a bad thing, but they're just white plant tags, right? Normally I'd write on them, but it really annoys me because I have to like secure the tag and write on it, or I end up with pen on my nail, which I actually have in a minute and I can't get it off. And it's just, this is neater. And if I sell them, then it's already nice and neat. You know what I mean? With the tag. So fair enough. So let us just place the wonderful label in the center of my tag, my very grubby tag now, like that. And then we have it, albeit a bit makeshift, but not as makeshift as it used to be. That now we have, it's that way around, a cute little tag. And then we just go poof, we pop it in here like that. And then we know what we have. I'll do that 2 more times. I am going to take the lid off this. It's bothering me that I've done it. It's really bothering me, so we're just going to take it off. We're going to take it off. We will do another tag. Ooh, someone said, let me see tattoos. I mean, I would have thought people had seen them really, but we're only really talking about this. I do have another tattoo on my hip, but you can't really see it. These are my tattoos, and they are, this was not done by the same person as these two. This one, funny enough, got fucked up. Yes, it did. Even though I went and researched a tattoo artist, I did everything I could and I still got it wrong, because it turns out my tattoo artist was ripping stuff off Pinterest and I gave them 2 reference photos. I didn't realize they'd basically stuck 2 photos together to do it and they just ripped it off. So I'm a bit sad about that, but this will need an overhaul at some point. This is a snake with peony in it. My new tattoo artist added a peony here and a peony here just to make this less stark, and it will all get covered over and shaded and whatever else. And then since then, the new artist has done all of this. So this is my lovely peony on the top of my arm. And then we've got this wonderful, wonderful death moth here with a couple of flowers around it. And because someone did ask me like, oh, you're going to get more tattoos and stuff. Yeah, I think we're looking at like August or something. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do, but my arm needs like filled in, basically. So I can only really do 2 appointments maybe while I'm over at my girlfriend's. I think it's going to be the beginning of August that I'm over in Ireland for a week. And I'm probably just going to have to say to her, look, do your worst, you know. Here's what I like. Come up with some shit. Let's do it. I want it a lot more contrasted as well, a lot more shading in it, stuff like that. But that is the plan. There will be more. I want a full sleeve, literally. I don't want to be totally covered. I'd like one sleeve here, and then eventually I would like something on like my glute and my hip, but I don't want to do it until I have a pair of glutes because I feel like it would change potentially the shape of the tattoo and stuff like that. So I would want to go to the gym like in a couple of years really before I did it. Just to get some glute there. Because naturally, guys, I am really not blessed with glutes. And I can't stress this enough. I do not have a backside, okay? It really bothers me. But obviously, the good thing about the gym is I know I can change it. So I am going to wait a little bit in order to be able to do that. But I think it's a good thing to wait. Right, now we've got the cutest little tags. Look how cutesy it is. It's just nice. Like, I don't want black, saggy ass pots where if there's a problem, I can't see it. You know what I'm saying? I want to see what's going on. I want to look at something and go, oh, it's rotting. I want to look at something and go, oh, it needs repotted or something like that, you know? I just want to see. I want to see what's going on. This is not the best way, and it won't work for every plant. Obviously, the big mature ones would just tip. I get that. But at least for the babies, that's fine. Because say, I wouldn't do this, by the way, but say I grew this out, this butt cut, I could just sell it like that. I don't even have to take it out of the packaging and disturb it. I can just sell it like that. And the buyer gets just a little bit more peace of mind knowing that it's grown in it, it's never been disturbed, and it can be shipped, right? Now, I can do a couple of things with this one, by the way, and I should have mentioned that before. Those are the ones with holes in. That's got a hole in. Why has that one got a hole in? Oh my God, hang on. Why have they gone in there? Right, hang on. What I tend to do is, when I use these, it might seem counterproductive, but I promise it isn't. I then go and sit them in a pot without holes in, and I drop them in like that. So when I water them, it's not all just going to piss out. It depends. But at least I've got the option of either keeping them out like that or covering them and giving them extra, right? I can also do, I could do it with, imagine this doesn't have holes in it, although you could. I could also either tape something on the top of there if I want to create like a humidity thing. These, unfortunately, obviously don't work. Or get this. I can just literally take a bigger one, ram it on the top, like you would, like literally like a cocktail shaker if you've done cocktail training, I don't know. Humidity, done. I can take it off, no problems. I can use that, whatever, doesn't matter. Or I can put a hole in it if I want to put a hole in it. Like, I know it looks makeshift, but it's kind of awesome. It is kind of awesome that I can do it. I could probably do it with these as well, can I? Well, this one kind of lines up, so you'd be more taping it if you're going to put that on there. But you could do it. But yeah, I can literally just do that. And I don't need to care about, oh my God, the humidity. I can sort of water it once and it'll just stay good for ages. So that is kind of a cool thing to do. And I've done that a lot. Guys. So that is the tea with that. Right, it really is time for this Fairchild now because I know we've been here fucking ages. I've got a lot to do today, actually. I have to drive to Ben's at some point and pick up a Henry Hoover. I don't know if you get those in the US or it's a UK thing. Good old Henry from the shop, actually. I need to pick him up because I cannot keep on top of the plant fluff in this house. It is beyond a joke. I'm brushing the cats. I can brush the cats, sit down, stroke them, 5 minutes later, and I've still got stuff coming out. I can't do anything to stop it. It's driving me insane. So the only thing I can really do is fight it the other way and have a Hoover that picks stuff up. Because the main Hoover I actually have in the house, it's cordless and it's like a Dyson one and it's just a little handheld. It's not doing it anymore, guys. It's not doing it anymore. Right, let's talk about this. So I noticed this was happening on this Fairchild. I don't think it's very happy with me. I think it's rotting. I think that's what's happening. So we need to save him. I do have a backup one, and he is a clone, and he is next door, and he's doing really well, actually. Funny enough, planted into the modern way of planting. This guy, not so much. I wanted to check this a long time ago, but he was putting out this leaf, right? So I didn't, and I left him because he didn't have any other leaves. Oh my God. So today, we're going to unpot him, and we're going to hope and pray. We're going to hope and pray that he's not rotted, because if he is, we're going to have to start him from chunks. From chunks. I don't really want to do that. This sun, absolutely not. It can stop doing that. Right. And I'm going to just have to put the pon in here because I've got nowhere else to put it. So that he has had his own cute tag, by the way. It's when I was testing out the tag machine. The label machine. I do actually recommend them, guys. If you want to get neat. Hang on. Oh my God. No. Oh, shit. Right, hang on. This is, yeah, it's a bit rotty. It's not super rotty, but it's rotty. If you want, you know, your tags and everything to look nice and neat, that is a way of doing it. That is a way of doing it. So have a think about it, because honestly, it really was inexpensive. You do get a roll of tape with this thing, by the way. A tape, roll of labels, but you can buy more labels on Amazon or wherever else does labels, like compatible for your machine. I did see some of the same stuff basically on like Temu or whatever. So if you're okay with Temu for stuff like that, then fair enough. You could do that as well. Yeah, there's some rot here. This is a rotty botty. I knew it. Now, I'm not bad-mouthing this pond, the leading brand of pond. I used to just say the name of the pond. I just don't know if I should do that anymore. I'm not trying to be weird about it. I just actually don't know what I'm supposed to be doing. Anyway, so I'm not trying to shit on it, but it is a problem that I used to occasionally face. Not on every single plant, obviously, but a lot of the time on Anthurium, this would kind of happen because the pond is just too fine a grade. And to be fair, I will be able to pick out a shit ton of rot from that. So let's get started while I get another question. Oh, that was it actually. Somebody asked me what like my favorite like plant is in the house at the minute. And honestly, that is real tough. Like way to ask the question, because it's probably going to be an Anthurium. My Black Widow, one of them, I have two. I haven't shown the other one just because it's not big enough yet. I will when I get to it. And there is a difference between the two Black Widows I own. One is longer and darker. They both have the Black Widow primary veins. One is longer and darker. The other one it's more true to the original Black Widow, I would say. I've called it Black Widow TTT, so true to type. I love those. At the minute, I've got really nice Anthurium Bevet that its leaves hardening off. I love my Gunayala. Oh my God, all of it. And it's not that, honestly, guys, it's not that I've fallen out of love with any of my other plants. It's just at the minute, I think they cost so much money. I'm really having to look at them every day, you know what I mean? To make sure they don't literally die on me in my sleep, because I worry about that sort of stuff. It's just, I don't know. It's just different from what it was like in the shop and shit like that, because obviously these are my plants and you know what I mean? It's just, I don't want things to die. In the shop, it's like stuff sometimes had to die because you just couldn't keep your eyes on it all the time. That was just, it was insane. It expanded so quickly because things grew so well. It sort of expanded quicker than I could even sell things. And by the time I could sell things, they weren't worth anything anymore. And it was a nightmare. It was honestly a nightmare. But anyway, God, I'm not going through that PTSD again, literally. So yeah, I'm enjoying the Anthurium thing just because, one, they're new. Two, they're babies. And you know what? I haven't had baby plants in a long time, right? Because when I did have the shop, obviously my model was not really, it was to propagate and sell, but I would still be buying in a more mature plant to cut, to propagate, to sell, right? And then the other mature ones, say this size, I would sell, right? With these Anthurium, one, you ain't getting a mature one. You ain't getting a mature one unless you are spending hundreds and hundreds of pounds. But two, like, I bought them just to grow for fun, right? And to do my own crosses and whatever else. That's super fun. So there is a bit more magic there now because I've brought like seedlings and things like that, and I am growing them. So I'm kind of enjoying that. So I do end up, like, when I get up every morning, I genuinely do come down, I feed the cats, first thing I have to do. Oh my God, they scream at me if I don't. They wake me up by screaming at me to feed them. Fat arseholes, honestly. I will feed the cats, I will have my creatine, get it out of the way. I will pop open a can of Pepsi Max, and I will just have a look at the plants every single morning. And somehow, I'm sure this is very relatable, but I look at them every single day expecting something amazing to have happened from the day before. And it never does. It never does. But I really enjoy it. So at the moment, they're taking up a lot of my attention. Now, the stuff on the back wall isn't, and it's just because it's so established. Like, it, bloody hell, Monstera. It's not going to do anything. It is growing a lot though, actually. And I think I'm going to have to sell off some mint because it's got too tall now. I really need to rethink the back wall because it is my fault. Like, I got it to look jungly really quickly, but the downside is it's outgrown itself. So, not the best choice of plants to pick. So I will have to cut them down. So if anybody wants some jungle mint, and it is actually jungle mint, it's from Barry Schwartz over in the US. Let me know by DM, and I'll probably have to take a fresh cutting for you, but you'll probably have your pick of the bunch of cuttings. So if you're interested in that, DM me, and I will endeavour to help you. I will endeavour to help you. That is, I should be saying this actually. Everything I'm saying is it's UK only. I can't sell to a different country. I don't have that capacity anymore. It's not that I never could sell to another country. There'd have to be bloody good reason to do it, because you guys know, if you watched my video, my podcast video of like all the reasons the plant shop failed, you'll know I'm not really about to start doing that again. Plus, I'd be doing it as a private seller effectively, and the guarantee of like replacing stuff and refunding stuff, I wouldn't have that guarantee because I don't have a big bank account behind me to fund all that. So honestly, it's probably best that I don't do that unless I can get something in place that allows me to do that. So for now, the UK will just have to be blessed with my mediocre offerings. But yeah, I think in general, some of the new Anthurium are my favourites. But again, also guys, it's because they're new. You know what I mean? I've seen them less. Most of the plants in the cabinet, it's not even plants I've had before ever, you know? A lot of the time you can't necessarily even get pictures of the parents if it's like a new cross. So that's kind of fun. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you don't really know what you're getting, and I think that's kind of cool. I'm going to butt cut this. Sorry, I am literally going to butt cut this. Hang on. Don't overthink it, Kaylee. Just cut it. Just cut it. Just fucking cut it. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. And then I'll butt cut that into the moss. Love that. Well, hang on, what's that going to go in now? Maybe a pint glass till I'll figure out what to do with it. Maybe one of those big ones. Let's do the little one first, because I don't know what I'm going to do with this now. It's big, but it would never fit in the pot it's just come out of, right? That's just silly. And I don't have anything else that would be adequate. So, is it going to fit a pint glass really quickly? Yeah, it is. Oof. I might still pint glass it, but I might put it in my pond and we'll just see if it improves it. I don't know. I haven't decided. But I have decided on this, so let's do that. Although we could try that in my pond. We'll moss this. We'll do the bigger one, I think, in the pond, because the pond will have more weight in the glass to keep it down and stop it tipping. This can go in moss. So we'll do that, actually. We'll do that and we'll just see how that goes. I've kind of taken most of the rot off this, by the way. And I think it looked worse than it was, but anyway. Just notoriously not done well for me. So that can go in. And we're nearly done, guys. I know, it's been a long one. I don't want to know how long I've recorded for. I think it says an hour. I think it says an hour. Maybe it's longer. I don't know. So, I could do with more tags. Oh no, I have to make more tags. Terrible. I love making little tags. They're so cute. Although, no, I don't need to, because we know that's a Fairchild. I can just stick the tag in this one and be like, yo, this is clearly also a Fairchild. Let's put this in like this. I'm going to have to kind of push it a bit. I don't like pushing it. However, it's kind of got to be done like that. And we'll just gently put pressure on it like that. Okay. And I'm going to put the moss in. Why not? Why not? But yeah, it's been a nice repot, guys. I've enjoyed this one. I do feel like I've got a slight sore throat from talking. I need to go shopping after this as well. I might edit it before I go shopping. I need to go get some food because I've run out of food and I need to stay on my macronutrient targets. So I need to go and do that at some point, but we will see. We will see. A little bit more around the top, because why not? Let that callus up nicely. See? So that's in there. It's not perfection. Oh God. Sorry, I'm just pushing the root out of the way and hoping that I don't kill it, I guess. Now, normally I probably wouldn't compact this with moss too much. I would leave it a bit more fluffy, but just for now, because I know it might not get watered as much, I will leave it the way it is. I'll still put this in a clear one like that, just to help it out. I know that might seem counterproductive, but I promise it's not. If the moss is ever too wet, I'll just take it out and sit it like that, and it'll evaporate 10 times quicker, you know. But that is the bottom of the Fairchild in there. I'll just put it somewhere where there is no root going to get me. Maybe here, like that. And there we go, Fairchild. And I will put a cup over that one as well, because I think it needs some humidity. Now, you might be about to ask me, if you haven't already left the comment, what I'm going to do to water them. So what I'm going to do is, sometimes I use a pipette, but it won't need to on these. What I'm going to do is, I'm going to water it through with quite a big dose of number 3, NurtureSystem number 3, and a bit of number 1. Kind of like equal. People are asking me how much number 3 I'm using. When I repot stuff and it's like something like insane like these, I'll probably do like a pipette squeeze, which is about 2.5 mil. You can even do more, and that's per litre. I'm really slapdash with it. I'm going to be totally honest. People are like, how many mils for this and that? I built it to be slapdash, but still strong to work. So it's not diluted, but it's just very carefully formulated. So if you muck up a bit, you're not going to burn the hell out of your plant, if that makes sense. So I'm putting like 1 squeeze of a pipette into a 1 litre watering can, and I'm going through that. I will be heavier on number 3 than number 1. Like if I could only choose one nutrient to put in it, I'd put in number 3. And that's obviously the root growth. But I do like to feed them as well, just because I've never, ever, guys, I've never had an adverse effect of doing it. So why stop, you know? Why stop? Oh, I needed a pint glass, but I haven't put holes in it. We just have to be careful with it, I think. I didn't prepare anything with holes in, but we will be fine, because I'm going to do this in this one, I think, for this other one. And it should be at least heavy enough to sustain us. Let's put that there. I know I've made the biggest mess. Wow, all of that scoop just came straight back out. But if I water this, for example, I will look for a water line on the bottom that is nowhere near the root, and then just, you know, use that. Right, we're very carefully going to put this in it, and it really will be stuffed in, but there's really not a lot I can do. I want to see what's going on with it, because it's Fairchild. Don't know if you can get these in the UK. Probably kind of no, if you know what I mean. Certainly not a clone of them. Not going to happen. Which someone will do it now. So I just need to make sure that this is going to be all right, because I can't get another one. But as I say, I've got a clone through next door that's doing beautifully. And we have a buttercut and then this. But I really want this to start flowering, so I want the pollen, obviously. However, if it's rotting, you've got to take measures, haven't you? You've got to take insurance measures. I'm just patting this, so all of the pollen that I'm putting in is going around the root there. But this is annoyingly going to have to be put all the way up, because it's not going to sustain being kept like that. Eek. Okay, that is a lot. Oh God, I don't really want it falling out of the pot like, but it should be in Cataphil, this. Oh, it is in Cataphil. You just couldn't see it. I was going to say, it's bloody old enough. I've had this a long time. I mentioned this before, but this isn't the easiest Anthurium I've had, which is weird because it is Fairchild crystalinum. However, these petioles are damn near the same as Anthurium luxurians petioles, if you've ever seen those. So it's like a complete square, but they've got like frills around them and all sorts of extra pizzazz, which is obviously very interesting. But I just find it quite finicky. And I don't just mean the roots, I mean the actual foliage as well. It's a bit annoying. So I'm pulling off the dead sheaths, and I'm going to put, yes I am, I'm going to put a tiny bit of moss on the top, but then I am going to put this cling film that I used for the red crystal around the top just to keep the moss wet. That's what I'm going to do. So I don't need a ton. I just need some. I just want it to be like, hey, we got you. I see you. I'm in support of what you're trying to achieve here. And it's okay. So we only need a little bit. I do find putting moss on the top, if you keep the moss wet, it does keep the moisture in the rest of the substrate. But that is that there. I'm then going to try, this will not work very well, and this is done so slapdash, but I literally very gently wrap it round the base of the plant and the cataphyll, so the cataphyll is out. And I basically just gather it, twist it, I guess. It will look ugly, don't get me wrong, this is ugly, but it does the job, guys, it does the job. And I just gather it round. So now, can you see? It's just left out. That's in there. The roots are all right. We'll see how it goes. Obviously, this will get watered. I'll just do it off camera because we've been here a long time, guys, a long time. But he is very nice. I finally got him to grow nice because he's lovely and dark, root to tip. He's beautiful. So he's happy. He's just decided to rot his roots. Good for him, I guess. But that is the end of today's repot. Sorry, it's chatty. Not a lot actually happened, but I guess this is different now from my shop repots where I would do the most. And now I'm not. Also, I know, pigtails, I know. I just felt like it. I know I look about 10. Anyway, thank you very much for watching this repot with me. If you'd like to follow my Instagram, if I'm going to sell anything, then follow it. It's Kaylee Ellen Official. And I guess that's it. In the meantime, until I see you again, YouTube actually thinks that these videos right here would be really good for you to watch. So I think we should trust the algorithm. That's it for this video, guys. See you later. Bye.